I want to say you're probably one of the most sought after mentors.
Appreciate that.
Shaahin Cheyene's joining us. His company is called Accelerol, which is one of many companies.
Yep.
How many companies do you have right now?
Right now, probably close to about a dozen, if you include companies that I invest in.
A dozen companies, but how many are you managing under your?
About half a dozen.
It's still, you have 6 businesses going on.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
How do you know which one to share more time with?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you know, when you first start out doing that, you have a tendency to want to put out fires, and whatever's taking most of your attention is what you give it to. And then as you sort of learn to grow, you systemize. So it's all about systems and checklists. I'm a big checklist manifesto guy. And then the second part of it is just having really excellent people who are great at what they do, who believe in the company.
Your team members are really strong.
We've got really great team members, yeah, much like you do, you know?
So I look at you over the last decade and a half of changing, okay? Because you were a very quiet person initially. You're very INTJ, an introverted type of person, okay?
Right.
And now I notice that you seek to go off and meet people and talk to people. Is that something you had to force yourself to do?
I don't think so. I think as I've gotten older, I've definitely become more extroverted. So I think it's, you know, partly having a kid.
Yeah,
changes you, right?
Big time, right?
And I think it's also partly, you know, just
also
life
a
changes.
wife that's like that too.
Yeah.
Your wife is very extroverted.
My wife's a publicist. So.
Yeah, she's just. So, and business is great. Let's talk about Accelerol real quick. That's the product that I want people to know about, and also I want them to know about matcha tea. So let's talk about Accelerol.
Sure, yeah. So Accelerol's doing great, leading brain supplement in the country. GNC rolling out in 5,000 stores, so you can now get your Accelerol at GNC, which is awesome, or directly from us on Amazon.
And green matcha.
And green matcha, and then more exciting is we have in development the Accelerol Elite, which now is only available to special forces. And
okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
When that is out, I'm going to have you on by yourself as the guest.
Cool.
Okay? Because I want to talk about this. But you are a mentor today.
Okay, great. Let's do
your
it.
function and your focus is towards our protege today.
Absolutely.
And what is your name?
Mercedes.
Mercedes what?
Mercedes Mana.
Mercedes Mana. Welcome.
Yes.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Did you get to see Mercedes' tech, cool Internet of Things thing?
I did. I love it. I want one.
How would you describe it?
I would describe it as a device that lets your plants communicate with you. Your plants or your garden communicate with you so that you know how to take care of them and they don't die.
How did that sound?
That was perfect.
What's your pitch?
My pitch is a PlantLink. It's a sensor devices that make your garden smarter. So we have soil moisture sensors, send notification, email, text messages. They communicate with you. And once you get those messages, you can either go on your own and water your garden, or you can have this automatic watering system that waters your garden for you.
See, this makes a lot of sense. Is this a competitive space?
We have a few competitors right now. It's still a pretty new category, but there's still some competitors there. Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you a series of questions. We're here to help you, not hinder you, okay?
Okay.
And we're going to go through 2 segments. Our first segment is we're going to kind of dive into just the idea of the product, and then later on we'll talk about marketing and positioning, okay?
Sure.
So you get the first question, Mr. Mastro.
Great. Okay, so I guess my first question is, so how do you scale this? She was already telling me that she's got some awesome strategic partnerships going with us. She said she had one with, are we allowed to say the name?
Yep, absolutely.
With Miracle Grow, so she's already got
huge.
a strategic partner going with
So
that.
we're beyond prototyping. We have a real working product. You actually have something.
That's right.
Show us some boxes that you have right now.
Yeah, so this is the sensor, and this is the system.
Okay, so these are ready to go, fully functional products.
You can actually buy this at Home Depot or
Got
at
it.
Lowe's.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. So product relationship is what Shaahin's talking about.
Yeah, it's awesome. So my question is, how do you scale so that you sell 1 million of these? How do we sell 10 million of these?
Oh, I like it's a we. It sounds like get an investor.
I know. This is, yeah. So for us, I mean, the big thing for us, our strategy to doing that is to partner up with somebody that is already a leader in the lawn and garden care, and that was Scott's Miracle Grow. So with them, what we're doing now, we're moving the product from an irrigation product, which is what it is right now, where it is located in stores, to a lawn and garden product. So with them now, we are presenting this idea of the connected yard. So we are presenting the product as a part of a bigger ecosystem, not just a sensor, but it's just like a smart garden. Think of it as Nest indoors, but this is for the outdoors, for your garden. So now we're making this part of a bigger picture.
Does that make sense?
I think it makes sense. I think there's a lot of potential even outside of that for her to make money with this. Like, I'm thinking government contracts. I'm thinking you make a deal with, you know, California. Or
Well, let's go. Talk about efficiency when it comes to water. Are you looking at water saving technology?
Absolutely. So one thing that this system that we're adding this year is a watering valve. And actually, so not just monitor the soil, but actually be able to water it. So one way that the sprinklers work nowadays is timers. You set them on a timer early in the morning, sprinkle for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, regardless if it rains or not, if the garden needs it or not. But this way, we're actually only watering the plants when it needs it. So you're definitely saving water. But on top of that, you're actually watering the plant. No, you're not overwatering the plants.
Well, you're not watering when it needs it. I showed something this week called Peggy.io. And Peggy is a clothespin that when people want to dry their clothes outside, it looks at what the outside weather is, knowing it's not going to rain or when you're close. So the Internet of Things is going everywhere,
Absolutely,
right?
yep.
So what you need to look at is weather condition, moisturization, and if something needs to be watered,
That's right.
and maybe it doesn't,
That's
right? So you're looking at not just if the soil is wet, you're looking at the environment where
That's
the plants
right.
are at.
That's
What are
right.
we looking at retail price?
So $79 for the system. So the system comes with a base station that allows you to connect to the web, and then in addition, and one sensor, and then additional sensors are $35.
So Shaahin, what should be the markup? Is it still 2.5 times? Meaning, so the product should be about 29 to 25 bucks for cost?
I usually work on a minimum of 5x for my stuff.
5x.
Yeah, some products like supplements are like 10x. But for electronics, you have much slimmer margins because the technology is expensive and you actually have a lot of things that bring that cost up. So if she has 3x on this, I think she's golden.
Is that around the right?
We're getting there. We're about 2.5 right now.
2.5, right? Because are you selling direct or are you selling more or less to a wholesaler who's selling at retail?
We're selling to retailers direct right now.
So you need a larger markup to
right.
really find that success point.
Correct.
Where
Correct.
can you change the cost factors? Is it just because of size? If there's more in size, the prices will come down?
So volume is definitely needs to be higher volume to get the volume pricing on components. Another thing is the technology we're using right now for the wireless part of it. It's still very new. So we're paying premium on that technology. As that becomes more commoditized, we're going to be able to reduce our cost. And as we're able to grow our engineering team and be able to develop some of the technology ourselves instead of licensing it, that's also going to help bring those prices down.
Shaahin, go ahead.
So I'm curious, we looked briefly on Amazon to see what some of the competitors were, and there's some competitors which we won't name on the show, but what is the main advantage that your product has compared to them? Is it price? Is there more technology features? Are there some advantages that your competitors have that you might not have?
Correct. So the biggest thing is scalability. So our sensors, because we have this base station in here, we actually can add up to 64 individual sensors to a single base station.
That's huge.
With our competitors, you have to add that system every single time.
What do you mean, thanks? Why do you say it like that? You're from you have had your own doc movie. You've traveled around the world. You from food to vaporization to nootropics to everything. You've touched some type of category in some ways. And it's nice, actually, in the last 5 years, I've seen you wear shoes. Because he would never wear shoes before. It was always sandals. I just want to let you know I've seen that change.
California lifestyle.
I know it is. Hey, we're looking at a really cool product. Mercedes just brought in her company's product, which you are the founder of.
I was not the founder of, actually.
You're not?
I am not, no.
So you are the?
I am the CEO, though.
What happened? What happened to the other people?
So I'm not the founder, but I've been working on this product since the very, very first stages of it. The team kind of moved on to different things, and the company wasn't really going anywhere, so we decided to jump in and take it over.
So you are a founder. It sounds like you are a founder.
Right? Were you part of the initial team?
That was not part of the initial team.
Wow,
no.
well, this is
Yeah.
interesting. But you're passionate.
I am. I loved it. I mean, I was one of they hired my consulting company to do the industrial design of the product, and that's how I got involved in it.
Oh, that's interesting.
But we love the product. I mean, I like to garden myself, so this is something that's very personal to me. So.
I am a green. I just love this. You've known me for like 15, 20 years. You didn't even know this about me.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I love this. So what I wanted to do is, many people may not know this about you, is when it comes to your products on Amazon, you rock it.
Yeah.
Like your green matcha tea is probably one of the top sellers when it comes to any type of tea on Amazon.
Matcha DNA,
Matcha DNA. Accelera does real well. Putting something on Amazon is not like you put it there and people are going to find it. That's not the case, right?
No, it used to be, but now Amazon is the marketplace for retail products. So if you have a retail product, unless you're doing a subscription-based business like one of the shave clubs or one of those things, you really need to be on Amazon. And to be on Amazon and to do it right is really an art. There's a few companies that are killing it. There's a lot of companies that are doing great. And there's even more companies that are doing good, but there's a lot of companies that put product on there and they just don't understand why stuff doesn't sell.
Okay, can this sell?
I think it can sell. It's a cool product. It's well done, and it seems like there's a market for it, which is the essential thing on Amazon. Is that the market has to be there for it. Amazon isn't currently not the greatest launch pad for products.
But again, there is a huge garden category on Amazon.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
so there is people out there like myself that would go, wow, I want this. How do you find people? Let's just say you're brought in to help them out when it comes to getting this seen and acquired on Amazon. What do you do?
Sure. So like you said, we have an Amazon consultancy where people bring us their products and we accelerate them on Amazon. And so the first thing would be to get the product in the hands of influencers and decision makers, influencers, bloggers. So we would find that category. So maybe it would be garden fanatics or garden enthusiasts.
But not one, multiple.
Multiple.
Right? Have you done that, Mercedes? Have you gotten tons of people's hands?
We have done a few of those, yes. Definitely not enough, not as much as we need to, but we've done a few.
Well, for example, we have like 30,000 people on our network right now,
Yeah,
on,
not
a
that many.
private network.
But that's expensive.
So
this is a hard asset.
It is not cheap, but we do have ways, I mean, sometimes even our bloggers will pay for products. So we can get them to pay for products at a discounted rate in exchange for their honest feedback and their honest review about the product, which falls right in line with Amazon's terms of service.
So how many positive reviews do you need to get some traction inside Amazon?
So it's a good question. Reviews really depends on the other products in the market. I like to, for our products or the companies who we consult for, to have more than the other products. But you don't necessarily have to do that. And you don't necessarily have to be even the low price leader. So these are just different metrics that contribute to the success of a listing. So with something like this, if the top competitor is 450 reviews, then we would encourage them to get 500 maybe.
That's not easy.
It's not hard these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've tried this, right, Mercedes?
We've tried it, yes. I mean, we have 20 or so reviews on Amazon right now, and we have tried giving this to a few people, get reviews. It's a lot of following up with them, chasing them. Hey, did you test it?
What
Did
I
it work
found,
out?
friends won't help you the way you think they would.
Yeah, right.
Do you agree with me, Shane?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, you'd be easier to get your friends to do something very difficult for you than to get them to
write a
leave a review. Yeah.
Right.
But there are professional companies out there that offer the service, who have the relationships like we do with these bloggers and reviewers. And those people will come in and will do that in exchange for their honest review. Amazon's like, initially people did a lot of fake reviews. So like, companies that were less credible sold these fake reviews, and so Amazon came after them. And now really what everybody's learning is that you got to be above board about it. And so there's a lot of bloggers and writers who love to get, discounted stuff or love to even get free stuff. And you can enlist them with the help of people who have those relationships and get them to write about your stuff. Like
Mercedes, how much have you raised?
So far, we have raised 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Yes.
Can this company, again, the website is?
myplantlink.com.
Can myplantlink.com make a living on Amazon alone without going to brick and mortar?
I think she could. The question would be more so if she would want to. I think she's got such awesome strategic alliances already. I wouldn't underestimate those. Like, for example, her relationship with Miracle Grow, I think is something that she should absolutely capitalize on, because like with any product, I think life is about this. Is like I've sort of restructured my thinking about products and business, and I think it's like everything boils down to distribution. It doesn't matter what it is; it's all about distribution. And a big player like that is going to have distribution. So if we can plug this in, make it even more awesome, and plug it into their already huge distribution system, it's a winner.
I thought it was interesting, the pet company that was on earlier, right? He said it wasn't about the actual devices, it was about the dog food they want to sell.
Yeah.
So the actual dog food feeder was about a recurring subscription to dog food.
Correct.
which I thought was very interesting, right? Is there any reoccurring subscriptions that could somehow fit into this?
Yes, I think the seeds could be one of them. Like
But I don't know if that's recurring.
Annuals, yeah. I mean,
Annuals?
some parts of
Okay.
the countries when people are, vegetable gardens, those you have to replant them every year. Soils, nutrients, fertilizers.
So you can create an entire product
That's right.
line
Correct.
that could be within your relationship
Yep.
with Miracle-Gro then too.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking more of her digital assets. I'm thinking, okay, so this machine's going to send you a text on your phone. Hey, Ken, your bananas need more water.
They do right now.
Why
actually.
can't we put an ad behind that thing? Hey, Ken, try Miracle-Gro with your bananas. Why? I mean, that's huge. Like I said, I mean, I think, again, text marketing, massive. I think it's going to overtake email if it's not already.
Really?
Absolutely. Because when you get a text, what do? You open up your phone and you check it.
I look at it. It's
Yeah.
important.
When you get an email, what do?
I look at it tomorrow.
You look at it tomorrow, maybe never, maybe it gets filtered. So we have a window now.
Pretty
with that.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool concept. Wow.
Yeah, and actually, we have a lot of fun with our text messages. We make them very customizable and fun for people, so they actually like reading them and getting those.
I'm going to buy
notifications.
a few of these, and I'm going to have her set it up for me so that it texts my gardener and tells him to come fix my lawn because my lawn is dying and that guy needs to be texted
really?
every time. Absolutely.
Your lawn's not doing that good?
My lawn's not doing that good. The
I
guy's not
noticed that
coming
the
to
other day. I
water it.
passed out as I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts. I passed by your place the other day. You got to do something with your. Why is your lawn bad? I don't understand.
Because the gardener's not watering it.
Yeah, but it's your lawn. It's not his.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So where you're at right now is, can you avatar your customer? And what I mean by that is, if you would design your customer and actually paint them out, what do they look like? What kind of product lines do they buy? Where do they live? What age are they? Can you give us an idea?
Sure. They're very much like me. So they're millennials. They usually live in the cities. They like the idea of eating healthy and living in a healthy environment. So they understand the benefits of having plants. If they have a house, they just bought a house, they usually have a smaller backyard, but they use that backyard to actually grow some of their first vegetables. They're like first-time gardeners. They're usually pretty, mid to high level income people.
It's interesting.
Very educated. They are very much into technology. They live on their phone. And
So you wouldn't get this to a baby boomer?
we have put it in the hands of some baby boomers, and some of them really enjoy it. A lot of them, though, are not as early adopters as my generation is.
Okay.
Right.
And priced out, it seems like it's, you're telling me it's about 100, or excuse me, it's 70?
$79,
$79.
and $35.
And 30, it seems like it's priced out right.
Yeah.
And it's modular.
Correct.
Where's the problem?
Awareness, market awareness.
How do you enhance that? How do you beef that up, Shane?
Well, I think in her case in particular, I think she's got a good product. I think she needs to work a little bit on her branding and sort of retail presentation. I think that's going to be a big one.
How would you
for
do
her.
that?
Well, this doesn't really, when I look at it, it doesn't really say 2.0, and there's no way to tell from this.
Does it matter?
From this graphic? I think it does, yeah. I mean, even if you're just selling it online, you still need to have, we were talking about possibly making it more fun and accessible. Like we were talking about, so I asked her what it does, and she said, your plants talk to you. I said, well, it would be cool. Maybe we can have a talking plant. We could have something that makes me remember this. Because honestly, if you saw this in the store, would you know what this does just from peeking at
I
it?
actually thought right away it was fertilizer. I did, because Miracle-Gro, it looked like a product to make plants grow, not take care of them. But that was because I wasn't looking at it as deep as I should now.
Yeah.
Now I see the Wi-Fi on there. I see it's an Internet of Things. I get it. But most people like you probably wouldn't see it right away. I don't know what the other product is. I can't tell by that at all.
Yeah, I'm going into the garden aisle. I'm looking for a pot. I don't know what I need. I got a Amex Platinum card. I can spend it on anything I want. I walk in, I get a pot. I see this thing. I don't know what this is. I put it down. I buy my pot and I leave. Right? But
You don't have the Centurion card?
She can make this look awesome. And
You really think it's? And it's funny because you come from a product design side, right?
Yeah.
Packaging.
Yep.
So look, he's telling you how to make this look better, and I think he's got some good advice there. You might be too close to it to see where the opportunities are to
Yeah,
grow.
absolutely. And I think so. This one is actually, this is the first generation of our product. I would like actually to hear his opinion on our V2 of this product. It's coming out in June because we are actually integrating a lot of those features and a lot of the things that you just mentioned. So I appreciate you saying that.
Is there an upgrade for people that buy it right now?
In June, not now. It's coming out in June.
So you just basically tell everyone not to buy until June.
No, I'm telling you not to buy this one for now.
All right, people want to find out more. Where do they go? What's the website?
myplantlink.com.
I like it. I love it. Mercedes, appreciate you coming out from Chicago to hang out with us.
Thank you so much.
People want to hunt down Accelerala or Matcha. Where do they go?
www.accelerall.com.
Just go there. Seriously, it's amazing.